Now to this. Tonight, Marietta police are releasing new pictures of what they say was a man stopping 2 attempted carjackings this week. Police say that the 32-year-old suspect first attacked a woman outside a gas station trying to steal her car, and that's when a 66-year-old ran across the street to help.
Another in the series I like to call You Won't Hear It in the Mainstream Media. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. If you like channel, like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Online store is open. CGB20 gets you 20% off. Free shipping. Connecticut residents, you have to pay the sales tax. I am not saying that matter, but CGB20 will get you 20% off. Trying to move the last of my gear out to bring in new gear. Let's talk about this. And this is one of those feel-good stories. I haven't done one of these in a while. But this happened in Marietta, Georgia. And the underlying tone of the story is a man seemed to be on a rampage, in a sense. He apparently was trying to get into people's cars. He would walk up to a lady at a gas station, said something to her, and then all of a sudden there's a struggle ensues. He then tried to carjack someone else. But good old citizen across the street at the local Cracker Barrel, which I think is a great restaurant, saw what was happening, saw the commotion, retrieved the firearm, and took care of business. Now, he didn't shoot him, but let me go ahead and give you the details here.
New at 4, a man tried to carjack 2 people in Marietta, but his violent behavior is interrupted by a Good Samaritan. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Marietta with that story. So Denise, you talked to that Good Samaritan and one of the victims.
I certainly did, and this whole thing started at this gas station where the first attempted carjacking took place. That Good Samaritan ran from across the street at this restaurant to help.
And I was just, help, help, and he and I were wrestling, and then we fell to the concrete.
Teresa Mackis walked out of this gas station on Franklin Gateway and says a man wanted her car and attacked her with a piece of a metal bed frame.
I was screaming as loud as I could, but nobody around the gas station came.
Gary and Anna Edwards were just leaving Cracker Barrel across the street when they heard the screams for help.
And we heard a lady screaming, bloody murder. And I saw across the road this guy on top of this lady.
Gary took off running.
In the impact, knocked him over, and then there was a little tussle on the ground.
The next thing I heard was, get the hell off of her right now.
Gary says the attacker ran toward the intersection where he tried to carjack a vehicle with a couple and a child inside. Gary went after him.
Anna, my wife, met me at the edge of the road, gave me her gun. I rounded the vehicle that he was trying to get into on the passenger side.
Gary says he pulled the gun on the man and told him to get down.
He spread eagle, put his hands down, and was begging and pleading to let him go.
Police showed up and arrested 32-year-old Rico Riley. Police say thanks to the quick response from Gary and Anna Edwards, Riley is now in jail facing numerous charges.
And the outcome in this particular case was fantastic, and we applaud them. We also caution the public, we're never going to ask you to be that one to run in. If you are wired that way, please be safe.
The Edwards say there was no time to think. They knew someone needed help, and they took action.
It's what people should do. If somebody's in danger.
And I'm very proud of him.
And Teresa Mackis says she is extremely grateful that Gary and Anna were there to help her. She says she doesn't know what would have happened if it hadn't been for them.
Heard that and you saw that. Now, as a police officer said, you got to be careful getting involved in these kinds of things. And it's not so much for your own physical safety at the point of contact, it's also the aftermath. Need I talk about Daniel Penny and a few other people who have tried to intervene in these kinds of situations and ended up having criminal charges brought against them. But I want to come in here for some more information. But Quick thinking bystander stops 2 attempted carjackings in Marietta, Georgia. Now, I don't have to get too deep into it. Gonna come right here. Officers responded around 9 p.m. June 2nd to reports of an attempted carjacking near the intersection of Delk Road and Franklin Gateway. When police arrived, they found 66-year-old Gary Edwards holding a suspect, 32-year-old Rico Riley of Smyrna, at gunpoint. According to investigators, surveillance video and witness statements showed Riley pacing near an unoccupied Chevrolet Aveo parked at a gas station on Franklin Gateway. When the vehicle's female owner exited the store and tried to enter her car, Riley allegedly grabbed her and struggled with her for the keys. The physical altercation lasted about a minute before Edwards, who witnessed the attack from across the street, ran to intervene. But we heard all the details, but I'm going to come down to here. As I was talking before, the other side, police praised Edwards for his swift actions, but emphasized that intervening in a violent situation carries significant risk, not only at the point of contact, as you have heard me say before, but also the aftermath. Quote, choosing to intervene in a violent situation must be a personal decision weighed carefully against the risks involved, Marietta police said in a statement. We commend Edwards for his quick actions that protected multiple community members. Anyone finding themselves witnessing a crime in progress is urged to focus on safety, be a good witness, and call 911. The outcome in this case was fantastic, and we applaud them, said Marietta Police Officer Chuck McPhillamy. We also caution the public, we're never going to say be the one to run in, but if you are wired that way, please be safe. And that's really the difference here with a state where they are obviously pro-gun. The police commended him. Some states you do that, not only put you up on charges, but they tell you don't do that crap again. You're going to find yourself in a whole world of legal hurt. It really depends on where you are. These guys praised him for what he was doing. Some places, the police will condemn you for doing it. Some places, they try to put you in jail for it. We've seen that. But kudos to this man for stepping in, and he did what had to be done. Once this man was confronted with a greater level of force, he backed off. It worked out perfectly. I applaud him. Good for him. He helped out a few people because clearly this guy was just on a spree. He started with one woman, moved over to another vehicle, trying to do the same thing, forced his way into the vehicle while the occupants were there. Yeah, we don't need people like that on the street. Now, I give him kudos for not shooting. He obviously had the situation under control, and he didn't get trigger happy. That's a blessing. Don't know how that would work out as far as him pulling the trigger and potentially injuring this guy, but it worked out in the end. But this is the difference between let's kind of make it simple, a pro-gun state and an anti-gun state. Police will praise you in the pro-gun state, and they will chastise you and try to put you in prison in the anti-gun state, even if you are doing it for the betterment of another person to protect their life. We have examples of it, very recent examples of it. So there it is. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.